Welcome to Off the Roster, brought to you by our founding partner, Proline. You have to be 18 plus to bet in store, 19 plus online, Ontario only. I'm Lindsay Dunn, that's Dan Riccio and Cabbie. We're so happy you're joining us for our inaugural episode. And guys, we're going to have fun. We're going to have great sports and entertainment interviews. We're going to be breaking down what's happening in the Toronto sports world. But while I was waiting for our live stream to start just a little bit later, I randomly thought of this, of how we can compare ourselves to anything maybe, is that we're the new kids on the block, but we've been in the neighborhood and the community for decades. Everybody knows us. We're bringing a good time. And when all the furniture is in the house, we're going to be having the ultimate block party, because let me tell you, going into this, was there a little bit of tech difficulties? Absolutely. Does Cabbie have the best background ever? He sure as heck does. But Dan, how are we feeling this morning?
I'm feeling good. I've got the espresso flowing, still out on the West Coast in Vancouver, but getting the moving boxes ready and getting the furniture out of the house before we get it back in. Once we get back to Toronto.
Lindsay, nothing like a 1990s reference for a show in 2025. Shout out to Donnie Wahlberg, though, who, when he was shooting a couple of the Saw movies in Toronto, was a big fan of the score. And I actually went to a New Kids on the Block. I'm sure you've been to a few, but salute. We're the New Kids on the Block. I can't believe I'm saying that, but here we are. We're here to break stuff.
You went to New Kids on the Block? That's crazy.
Yeah. My man D and I went to a New Kids on the Block concert, and I think we were on our phones the whole time. 19,000 screaming women, and then DK and I just doing this.
Well, step by step, we'll get it all figured out here on Off the Roster.
Yes, we will. And there's so much to talk about in the sports world, so specifically, there we go, the Toronto sports world today, whether it be the Raptors dropping their home opener on the weekend, to the Leafs and Raptors having a bit of struggles, to some positive moments. We're going to start off with the Raptors, where unfortunately for 2 games, we did not see Grady Dick have that flexing pose after in the locker room. There was no chain handed out, because unfortunately they dropped back-to-back games. Charlotte, it was a rough one. We'll get into it in a moment. But last night they took on the New York Knicks in Madison Square Gardens, where in the first quarter alone, the Knicks dropped 41 points on the Raptors, which tied a season record for the amount of points that they allowed another team to score in a quarter. Here's what Darko Rakovic had to say after the game.
We got 15 offensive rebounds as well, which we were able to convert only on 4 opportunities. And on the other side, they got 25, and they converted much better. And that was a big difference in this game. I thought that we were creating good opportunities, good looks. The ball did not go through the hoop tonight. We're really excited to see this team in 10 days in NBA Cup.
Yeah, the ball definitely did not fall in the hoop, because they had 29% from beyond the arc. They're around, I think, something like 50-something%, from the charity stripe. That is brutal. As they would say, kids, practice your free throw. There was some moments of hope and glimmer, but Dan, what do you make out of this all? And Brandon Ingram, unfortunately notorious BI3, had a couple of rough back-to-back games.
Yeah, he was the hero last week. In these last couple of games, you saw maybe a little bit of an over-reliance on Brandon Ingram, and that really hurt the Raptors. You think about the end of the Charlotte game. I think he missed his last 9 shots as the Raptors coughed up that 12-point lead late in the fourth quarter. And then on Sunday, he starts the game, his first 6 shots, all bricks. So he missed 15 consecutive shots between the 2 games. And it's like, what happened to the guy that crushed Cleveland and also put up the game winner against Pascal Siakam? But more than anything, I think what these 2 games showed is just how the Raptors kind of missed RJ Barrett, right? He's missed the last 4. They got through the first 2, won those 2 games. But then these last 2, they just missed that extra element on offense. And through these 4 games without RJ Barrett, they dropped to the worst in the NBA in offensive rating through those 4 games. So they really missed RJ Barrett. I think that was more than anything what stood out to me in these 2 games over the weekend for the Raps.
Okay, you have some positive takeaways, I believe.
Yeah, listen, this show is called Off the Roster, and we're going to leave bad vibes off the roster. We're going to leave bad juju off the roster. Sometimes we're going to flush bad losses down the toilet, as Aaron Rodgers said after the Steelers lost to the Bills. Got to flush this one down the toilet. With every loss, it's a learning moment. So I'm coming with some on-the-roster positivity. Okay, so I have 4 takeaways for both games. We're going to start with the New York Knicks and go from least to most impressive takeaway from these 2 losses. So the first is Darko and Jama, they're going to study the game field in preparation for the NBA Cup, as Coach Darko had just mentioned. That happens on December the 9th. The guys go in the room, they'll get their, the iPads out, make key adjustments, and they'll be ready. Now, unfortunately, when the Raptors play the Knicks on December 9th in the quarterfinals of the NBA Cup, the Raptors will have played their 5th game in 8 nights. So fatigue definitely set in the fourth quarter with New York. We'll see how fresh their legs are at the end of that 5-game stretch to start December. Okay, so that's one. Number 2, mental fortitude. The Raptors display, listen, they can score in bunches. They can dig deep. As Lindsay, you mentioned, they were down 24 points in the game to New York. They came back to within 3. It was 70-67 in the third quarter. So they can dig themselves out of huge holes. Not all the way, but their eyes came about here. And then they kind of went back down like a little mole or whatnot. Like, oh, what's going on up there? Okay. And then with Charlotte, a couple great takeaways. Let me just look through my notes here. The Raptors registered 34 assists in a game, which tells me that they are buying into coach's system, which is playing unselfish basketball. The Raptors are top 3 in total assists per game. So that's very positive because they're sharing the rock. Now, the rock has to fall into the net, but they're still sharing the rock. And then the last point is Scottie Barnes is elite. He is an all-star, and he is putting together a campaign to be the first Toronto Raptor to be on the All-NBA first-team defensive to earn a selection. This dude is playing unbelievable. He's a 5-tool player, and his skills were on display in both these games. Even though they didn't get W's, Scottie has been elite. So those are my takeaways for the losses to the Knicks, and unfortunately the overtime loss to the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, vibes are not down. This is still a great team. It's early in the season. We saw some great moments and improvement from CMB to Jacoby to Jamison Battle getting the start yesterday. And obviously they miss Jakob Poeltl. They were out-rebounded by the Knicks by 21. But you said something, Cabbie. I need to make this a note to our producer. If there's one audio bite of Darko we can play over and over again that brings me so much joy, is Scottie Barnes is all-star. Like, top 10 Darko quote, but we're going to see the Knicks in Toronto in just over a week before the NBA Cup. The showdown. OG Anunoby is supposed to be back from injury by then. We'll see. Obviously, he is a fan favorite. But Dan, when it comes to the NBA Cup, there was a lot of people in the weekend I spoke to who are Raptors fans, and even some people in the UK that were saying, do people actually like the NBA Cup? Is it growing on them? How do you feel about the NBA Cup in general?
So at first, it's kind of like, is this going to be a thing? It's just another money grab for the NBA to find a way to procure some extra dollars to up their revenue. And sure, that's probably all true, right? Like, I'm not going to be naive about it, but also it's bringing some relevance to games in December. And who doesn't want that, right? Like, I don't know if people are going to be filling up Jurassic Park on December 9th for a quarterfinal NBA Cup game, but it brings some relevance. And I think it really helps players develop because you're getting meaningful games. And for a Raptors team that is, trying to go from where they were last year to becoming more of a perennial, again, annual good team in the Eastern Conference, get back to that stage and then go from good to great. You need meaningful games. You need meaningful minutes, and bring in an NBA Cup run where you're not a team that's expected to go on a run for the Larry O.B., let's say later this spring, but can you go on an NBA Cup run and build some of those, big game mentalities that you have to amongst these young players? That's what I love most about this. And as a European soccer guy, in Premier League, you got the FA Cup, you got the Carabao Cup, you got all these different cups. Nobody knows what they mean. But ultimately, if you're an Arsenal fan, you haven't won a Premier League title in forever, but you've won a couple FA Cups, so you're okay with it.
Hey, shout out to the Gunners. When I worked at Bleacher Report, I remember our SVP was saying that in 2014, Adam Silver went into the offices in New York and he floated 2 ideas to the C-suite or to the production staff. Was one, to legalize marijuana, which at the time, I think only Colorado and maybe Washington had legalized it. And then the other was creating an in-season tournament. We all have worked in media for many decades, many years or decades. And one one topic that fans love to chew on is like the regular season doesn't mean anything, or there are too many games. I mean, Lindsay, you cover the Blue Jays. That's 162 games. And fans like to just criticize the schedule. Now, Adam Silver, to his credit, and credit to soccer, as you mentioned, Dan, the Premiership or the Champions League, it's like, I'm taking cues from the greatest sport in the world, or from the world's most popular sport. I don't know if it's the greatest, but
yeah.
And I'm on board with the NBA Cup. Like, salute to, I mean, LeBron and the Lakers did the NBA a huge favor by winning the very first one. And I think, was it Giannis who won the second one? The Raptors have a chance. Now, OKC, and shout out to SGA from Hamilton. It is the most undercovered story of the year that the OKC Thunder are 20-1 and have the best shot of winning the NBA Cup. But to me, I'm into it. I love the courts. I know the courts are a bit of a, not third rail, but are pretty controversial. I like how it pops either on my screen on my wall or on my phone when I'm watching. And I think it's something special to add some spice and flavor to an otherwise kind of dull regular season. We'll get some pops every once in a while. Jokic is putting up video game numbers. Shea is averaging 34, 35. Luka is dropping 40-point games all the time. But to have something for the casual fan to enjoy, something different to maybe bring them to the screen, I'm in on the NBA Cup. I don't know about you. What do you think, Linz?
Well, I love it. The first year, I remember being around the players from different teams, whether it be the Raptors or the Lakers, and the players even said this to the media, like, what is this? What are we doing here? Nobody understood it. So then, Lakers do a solid, they win. And second year, more people were starting to think about, hey, okay, this isn't bad. It is making it more competitive. And who doesn't like getting an extra, bag of cash? Nobody. Yeah. So everybody loves it. The players are into it. I think it's fun. And the courts, I know, they're a little bit of the danger zone because the Lakers couldn't use theirs on the weekend because it was, not up to par. But in person, those courts and the way the jerseys pop off of it, it's just so fun. It is something different. But I want to bring up about the Raptors taking on the Knicks in the Cup quarterfinals, a tweet from Hello and Welcome co-host Will Liu, who's always spicy on social media, had this moment in a lovely stat that said, Raptors haven't beat the Knicks since the OG trade, but this is just nasty. Darko already having to call his third time out of the first quarter because the Raptors have been a shell of themselves. So we'll drop the last part, but the fact that they haven't beat the Knicks since the OG trade,
it's like 9 straight now that the Knicks have gotten the Raptors on. I mean, hey, what all that means to me is the Raptors are due. So better make it happen in the NBA Cup quarterfinal.
And the good thing is they're playing the Knicks at home. The Knicks are 10-1 in Madison Square Garden. So the Raptors face on a second night of a back-to-back, a tough team to beat at home. So, playing inside Scotiabank with that vibe, with that crowd, hopefully that helps to neutralize the OG and Anunoby effect. And hopefully, well, not hopefully, but if OG is not ready to play and RJ Barrett is ready to play, then we got a game.
Ooh. Then we're going to Vegas. Let's go.
We're going to Vegas for the final and the semifinal.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Vegas? Yeah, sure.
I got some people at the Caesars Palace, so we'll be good.
Yes. We're the 3 best friends that anyone could have. When it comes to Scotiabank Arena and those vibes, it's going to be a while until the Leafs and their fan base are reunited because they're in the middle and kind of at the beginning stages of a road trip. But before we get to that, if you're watching us on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it in this day and age, Elon Musk's platform, head over to YouTube as well. Subscribe. Leave us a comment how you're feeling about the Raptors, how you're feeling about the Leafs, but you can leave us a voicemail. Give us your hot take, how you're feeling about the Raptors or the Leafs. Who are your favorite players? Do you think the NBA Cup is trash? And have you hit the panic button on the Leafs? You can find out how to do this by the link in all of the profiles for our shows. But guys, the Leafs, like I mentioned, on a road trip. Friday, Leafs Nation, the sky was falling. They lost. But then it was 7-2 win over Pittsburgh. Here is what Max Domi, who was a fresh scratch on Friday, had to say about Saturday's results.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, right? I think this just does nothing but build a lot of confidence for our group, and we needed that. It's a good team over there, and we had everyone going tonight, so huge win.
Dan, do you think that win over Pittsburgh 7-2, I know they're not a great team right now, but do you think that it helped build confidence in the Leafs fans, not only the players, as Max just said?
I think it should build some confidence. Maybe it was the slump buster that they may have needed over the last little while. But, it's just kind of crazy, like the contrast of the reaction to Friday's loss to Saturday's big win over Pittsburgh. And not to say that anybody's planning a parade after they beat the Penguins 7-2, but Friday, everybody's like, man, this team is terrible. You got to start thinking about rebuilding, and the cup window is closed. And it's, can we just let things play out a little bit? They had a tough third period. And yes, it felt like in the moment, this is kind of a nail in the coffin for a team that's already dug themselves a bit of a hole, but they still have time to recoup. And they showed that on Saturday. They had the big performance. Austin Matthews scored what felt like a vintage goal. Like, he's not scoring those kind of wristers in the way that we used to see him score. And you had Dennis Hildeby put up the wall in net. I mean, the Hildebeest has the best nickname for a Swedish goalie in Toronto history since Jonas the Monster Gustafsson, which, he was billed as the monster, but he was really not that for the Maple Leafs, at least. So I'm happy that some things started to go well, but you really saw the contrast of how this fan base is feeling right now between those two games on Friday and Saturday.
Linz, if it may please the court, I have 3 positive takeaways to add to this discussion. Because
we need the positive vibes on a Monday, Cab.
We do. It's December the 1st, people. There's like 20 games. So let's look at the silver lining and evaluate what's good about this 7-2 win over the Pittsburgh Penguins. And I have 3. We will begin with balanced scoring from the Toronto Maple Leafs. 7 different players scored and carried the offensive load away from the core 4. Now, Dan, is Tavares now part, since Mitchie is in Vegas, does Tavares elevate into the core 4, or is it Nyes that's in the core 4?
Yeah. Now? I guess if we're sticking with a core 4, which I think many people want this label retired, but Nyes has now moved into the core 4 to replace Mitch Marner.
I want us to take that core 4 slogan and put it in the trash, light it on fire, and throw it in the ocean, but may it not impact the environment. But let's no more core 4. Every game and every pre and post and practice for Leafs for the last how many years they've been there, a reporter will ask, like, core 4, core 4, core 4. And I'm like, parkour. Let's switch it up. But let's go to another positivity, nice. Cabbie.
We will retire the core 4. But what I do want to say is this is encouraging for Craig Berube and his staff because there was balanced scoring. The depth players are responding to the coaching because, as you mentioned, Max Domi was a healthy scratch in the previous game against Washington, responded with 2 primary assists, including running a 2-man weave with Austin Matthews and then finding Dakota Joshua for his goal, which is dope. Dakota Joshua, who was scratched against Columbus, he made an impact in this game. He scored just, on the doorstep, just great awareness, boom. And then Bobby McMahon and Nicholas Roy on the third line, both contributing with scoring. That just tells me that they're responding to Berube and his coaching staff's messaging. And 3. Dennis Hildeby, the Hildebeest. Salute to you, sir. 33 saves. Load management exists in hockey, but people like to assuage basketball for load management. But you have the goalies need to load manage. So this gave Wall a nice break, and it tells the Leafs that they have a reliable third option. So salute to the Hildebeest. It's great to see 3 positive takeaways from the Leafs beating Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm like right here on the verge of saying Pittsburgh Steelers just because it was yesterday was Sunday and I was watching the Bills versus Steelers. But
a bad game.
Salute to the boys on Saturday, 7-2, beating the Penguins.
I love it. We have positivity, which does not typically surround the Toronto Maple Leafs and Toronto media. So already, there we go. I'm going to give us a little positive vibes there. But guys,
can I just bring it back for 1 second? Like, they did score 6 goals on 19 shots. So that's not a repeatable kind of way of winning. So they got to build from the 7-2 win. They got to keep building.
Come on,
keep up the good. they got to keep with some of those good habits. But there's a lot of good to take out of Saturday's game. You want to see them build on it.
Yeah, I just want to talk about the positive vibes and the lack thereof, because at points I think I'm crazy. I might be crazy. I don't know. But I vividly remember November 12th. I heard a conversation within the media on multiple channels and radio, wherever it may be, on print, and then fans on social media calling for Craigie B to be fired and that the Leafs are not going to make it to the playoffs. This is November 12th, but I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm the kind of person that's like, hey, if the house is on fire, my hair's on fire, it's still good. It's still good. Somebody will show up and save me. So I'm always going to give them benefit of the doubt. But is that not insane? I've not heard anybody actually address this. And if you were a fan listening or watching, let us know if you were part of this group or you think, hey, the house is on fire and they need to rebuild. I can't believe people were saying that freaking word, Dan, on November 12th. So are we crazy? Am I crazy to think like, hey, everybody, slow your roll?
I think the most overused term in hockey circles right now is the word, like, you know, fire the coach or rebuild. Like, everybody just needs to, like, take it down a notch. You know, rebuilds, just because we're seeing Anaheim and Chicago have a little bit of success, and that game was really fun yesterday. It's not necessarily the way a lot of teams want to go. And firing a coach on November 12th, especially somebody with Craig Berube's resume of being a Stanley Cup champion, I think is just wild to me. The Leafs have a lot of issues that they've been running through early on this season. I know, you know, he's not without criticism, Craig Berube, but to bring up the idea of firing this head coach right now in this moment, I mean, it's just too much for me, a bridge too far.
We will make this point many times on this show. When are teams built for? Are they built for November 12th? Are they built for December 12th? Or are playoff contenders built for April, May, and June? Edmonton's fan base, Calgary's fan base is a little more despondent, but Edmonton's fan base, Toronto's, Vancouver's are like, burn it down to the studs. I mean, there's some legitimate criticism, but guys, it's 20 games. We're like, I would say to like the group chat that I'm in, we haven't even hit American Thanksgiving. Why are we even talking about playoffs? You know what I mean? Like, you know, oh, so-and-so in the second wild card spot. I'm like, it's November, to your point, Lindsay. So yes, breaks, me pumping. Let's just slow that down. Okay. There's 60 more games. I sent a note to, I don't know if this is a little bit of a, I'm sorry, this is name droppy, but I sent a message to Morgan Riley the other day.
Name drop.
I know it's terrible.
Droppy. It's pretty name droppy.
It is name droppy. On Lebertard show, they call it "Look at Me, Louie." Just offering a few words of encouragement, and the dude was so happy to receive that little glint of positivity, because the players, everything goes to their phones, and they get the vitriol, they get the DMs, they get bettors out there just saying, "Oh, you ruined my parlay," every day. So just like it's early, folks. There's a lot of time, many games left to be played. It's not the apocalypse. And I'm sure it feels that way to even some of the messages that we may get or what we read, but it's early. Yeah. Back to you, Linz.
Yeah, well, you know what? Thank you. I appreciate that. I agree with both of you. We have not discussed this before, so I'm happy that we're on the same tape and we don't have to yell at clouds right now and keep that positivity, because it's something I will never understand is just the negativity and hate so early in a season, but also I don't want to live that way. I do not want to live that way, cheering for a team that before the season's even started or 2 weeks in, like, oh yeah, you know, wow, they're not going to make the playoffs. This is rough. I'm taking some positivity and moments out of that, including Easton having a great game. We'll see what happens throughout here. But Dan, I'm curious, is there a player that you're kind of watching how they're going? You're excited to see how they're going to develop on the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Well, actually, like, yeah, you mentioned it with Easton Cowan. Scores again on Saturday. Beautiful goal. Also a beautiful feed from William Nylander. The way that he just played the ultimate misdirection to throw it back to Easton Cowan for the give and go there. I love the play. I love how Easton Cowan's fitting in. Saw him get some power play one time as well on Saturday. He's on, I think, a 39-point pace for a guy as young as he is and what he's able to do, and kind of fitting in a top 6 role right now. This is what the Leafs need. They need a little bit more of that depth in their forward group, especially while Austin Matthews continues to try and find his higher level offensively. So loving what I'm seeing from Easton Cowan right now.
I was just going to say, I like what I'm seeing from Matthew Nyes. Oh, sorry. I want to see more from Matthew Nyes, who's only like 23, and he's got, you know, a whole career ahead of him. And if he's elevated to the core 4, which we won't talk about anymore. Play outside of Scotiabank, where he has most of his production. I'm looking forward to watching him really start to turn it on. And maybe post January 1st is when he goes on a run, because guys of his ilk, like young talent, they get streaky, they go on heaters, and we will see one from Matthew Nyes.
We're going to talk about somebody nicknamed Mr. Positivity in the Toronto Blue Jays clubhouse in a moment, but Connor Bedard had a big moment and a nasty goal that happened, and just there was some chirping after, and there's a lot of takeaway. Obviously, there's just, if you haven't seen it, watch this. Wow.
What a goal. I mean, if you're the Ducks, like, I don't know what's going on here, but just throwing up a pizza there in your own end to this guy who's now second in league scoring, that's maybe not something you want to do, Cab.
Wow, I haven't seen this. I was like all locked in with NFL, but that was pretty nasty. And wait, he's second in scoring, but behind Nate, right? Because Nate is on this campaign. Nate's trying to score 100 goals this year. He's like, I see what you guys are doing for Ovi. Like, don't forget about me. Like the Colorado Avalanche are coming to eat everyone's food. So I'm surprised to know that Bedard is second in scoring. But that was just gross. And salute to the young fella, because there haven't been that many highlight.
Yes.
There haven't been as many as maybe we expected to see so far in his young career. And the kid is, I don't know, 19 or something like that. So I'm sure we'll get hours of goals in the future, literally hours and hours.
Just into his third season, Cab, and he's like, last year the sophomore slump thing was kind of wild, but you see that goal there at the end of the game. He's like chirping the Anaheim Ducks bench, and he's really getting into it. Second in league scoring, along with Macklin Celebrini. So the two North Van kids are right there. And I think that the Team Canada discussion is just like, I'm watching Bedard last night. I'm like, how do you not put this guy on Team Canada right now? I know he wasn't on the Four Nation squad, and he was going through that sophomore slump. Maybe he hasn't played with Team Canada before, but like, I don't know. That's not a player I want to leave off of Team Canada. Sorry, Travis Konechny and some other guys that may want that spot, but it's just like this. It's Connor Bedard, man. Like, look at the way this guy's scoring goals. Look at him. He's getting
scoring
aggressive.
Doesn't get you on the team, because come on,
Yeah,
I'll argue with that all day.
I know it's not just about scoring. I know you're going to have to maybe play some penalty kill minutes, or how are you going to play in a fourth line role if you're Connor Bedard? He'll figure it out. He's a really good hockey player. And I just want the most talent possible. And right now, you cannot deny Connor Bedard and Macklin Celebrini for a spot on Team Canada with the way they're playing for me.
You know what's something I can deny, Dan? Anaheim's ugly AF jerseys. I hate those jerseys.
Hard disagree. Hard disagree.
Cabbie, turn your mic off.
No, Cab,
what?
Please.
Those are
too much
fire,
orange,
bro.
Man. There's too much orange.
What do you mean too
it's
much
just
orange?
It's too much orange.
Guys, do you just order vanilla ice cream, or do you do you realize there are 30 other flavors when you go to Baskin Robbins? Or you just
but it's like you're ordering the flavor of what butt would taste like. That is what I equivalent their jersey, what it looks like. It is awful.
Can I introduce you?
All for.
This is what a popcorn jelly bean tastes like. That's the Anaheim Ducks jersey. Yes.
Sorbet.
You think we haven't had sorbet? No, just how dare you? That it is one of the worst jerseys.
I think they're dope. Listen, I like bright colors, and I like what Carlson, Kreider, Gutter Koji. Like, no one expect. And I guess salute to. I don't know if we're allowed to salute Joel, the head coach anymore, but. Anyway, like nobody saw, like we're talking about, we'll get into discussion of like unexpected great performers and unexpected athletes who are having moments. This squad, completely unexpected. Same with San Jose, both very fun and offensive teams. But listen, I'm of the camp that the Anaheim Ducks, that jersey with the hot orange, like the Dorito, the nacho.
Okay. Tony the Tiger's diarrhea.
Cap, I
long
for the
flavors in Regina, Saskatchewan? Are there any flavors in Regina? Other than
chocolate,
potassium.
Strawberry. Come on, Dan. What do you got?
I long for the days of Adam Banks and Charlie Conway. Like, can we just go back to the green with the shades of purple and just like, like this orange, especially like their home jersey where it's just like bright orange. It's just no, I can't. It's too much. It's the worst jersey in the NHL right now.
What?
Yes, please leave a voicemail agreeing with Dan so we can play it for Cabbie over and over tomorrow, or leave a comment.
San Jose's jersey is not dope. That's kind of ugly.
The teal? Oh,
Yeah, it's not. Well, the teal's okay, but the other with the black and anyway. Let's
That's
move on.
for another conversation. Yeah. Also, I'd love to know what jerseys people love and they don't like in the NHL. There's some hot takes there, but I know that Dan and I are right. But you know what everyone should agree on, guys? Is that Ernie Clement is one of the best human beings you're ever going to meet, one of the best athletes you're ever going to meet. I had the chance to catch up with him in Rochester, New York, his hometown, on the weekend, and he's just such a lovely human. They had an autograph signing, which was also supporting Small Business Saturday there. And I got a little emotional. My eyes got a little foggy when I arrived because when you walked there, we were well over an hour early for our interview. The lineup went outside the clubhouse, up around the stairs, up another flight of stairs, down a long hallway, out into the parking lot and into another parking lot rather. There was over 1,200 people that showed up. They had to cut the line off. He was given the key to the city. They said it was Ernie Clemente. He didn't know that they cut the line off, but for over 3 hours, in what was supposed to be an hour-long signing, he was smiling, talking to everyone, whether it be a Dodgers fan that showed up or a Yankees fan, telling him how they inspired him. And I had the chance to sit down with Ernie, and we start off talking about me telling him how Canada as a nation really embraced him and this team even after the World Series, and it didn't end the way that I wanted, and how much he united us all. Here's a look at a part of our conversation. How are you feeling after signing all those autographs?
Oh my God, I'm dead. I'm tired. That's a lot. My right hand is shaking a little bit. That's why it's in the pocket. But it was so fun. I'm honored to get to hang with everybody, and I did not see that many people coming and to hang out. So it was really special day.
You've definitely become a folk hero also in Canada. I've been doing this journalism thing for 15 years. I've been lucky enough to interview someone from Ringo Starr to Kobe Bryant. I've never had more people ask me about an athlete until you, whether it be a usher at Scotiabank Arena saying, "Tell Ernie I love him," to people across the country just saying, "You have no idea how proud you made them with everything that happened in the World Series," to then honestly people asking me for your number to try to hook them up with like their sister. Please stop that.
That's great.
Have you been able to even digest the impact that you had?
I don't know. I don't know if, you don't even really realize it in the moment just because, I'm out there, I'm doing what I love, I'm having so much fun hanging with the boys and stuff. But, yeah, when you have the, the responsibility of making an impact like that, it's really special. And I'm really honored that, I have so much fun doing what I do, and I'm glad people can see that.
Yeah, it comes across so much, and you're always so nice to everybody. I love that. So many people would be tired after one autograph, but you listen to everybody tell you how much that they adore you. But what I love is after Game 7, you were back here within like maybe 14 hours watching a Bills game at a pub with your buddies. What was the next 24, 48, 72 hours like for you after the season ended?
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I was dying to get out of Toronto because I absolutely love the city. I love the people. I did not want to leave I just kind of sat in my locker for, I think it was like 3 or 4 hours after that Game 7 ended, and I wanted to be with the boys and hang out and get those last few hours. You can't dwell on it too much because we're gonna be right back out there pretty soon. So I wanted to come home, see my family, see my buddies, watch my Bills, and I guess kind of just move on as fast as possible. I think that's something that as baseball players you got to be pretty good at because we're playing every day, and I wasn't going to sit and dwell on something that to me it was we played the last game in the last inning of the season. It's something to be pretty proud of. So I'm looking forward to next season.
You guys should be so proud of what you've done. Like, the impact is going to last generations and generations. But you talk about kind of moving on. Before you officially moved on, did you finally take a moment to realize, holy S, I just played in the World Series. Everybody has their favorite Ernie moment. You made history with how many hits you had in the postseason. Was there something that kind of struck you or you kind of really thought about? You're like, oh, that was cool that happened. It could have been even meeting somebody.
Yeah, I mean, just playing. We got to play the best team in the world. before the season, everybody kind of chalked it up as the Dodgers winning. In the playoffs, they beat the crap out of everybody, and we gave them about as good of a run as we possibly could. To me, I was just so proud of the way our team came together, and it was a lot bigger than baseball for us, and it was great friendships, and playing for the whole country is a pretty cool responsibility. So just so proud to be a Blue Jay and be a part of it.
The last time I saw you was Game 7 in the clubhouse after. Your vulnerability and the answer you gave really connected with people around the world. But you had this line everyone keeps quoting about how you just want to hang out with your buds. Yeah. You're going to miss seeing them every day. So what's the group chat like? Have you hung out with anyone in the last couple of weeks or FaceTimed?
Yeah, obviously I talked to Davis a good bit. That's my guy. But yeah, I've talked to a few guys. We have our fantasy football group chat, so there's plenty of smack talk going on, and we're all still in touch. So we're trying to, all those free agents that we're losing, we're trying to make sure we don't lose them. Yes. So we're trying to bring the boys back and run it back because that was a special group.
I know it's not official yet, but there's the report of Dylan Cease going to the Blue Jays. When you saw that report, what was your reaction?
Yeah, I was fired up. We want as many good people and good players as possible. So. From what I've heard, he's an awesome guy, and he's a pretty darn good pitcher. So we'll take that.
Where are you in your fantasy football league for the Jays?
I'm right in the middle of the pack. I'm kind of making a end of the season push here, so we got a shot. It's Max Scherzer is kind of running away with first place, but somebody's gonna take him down in the playoffs. I promise you that.
Is he smack talking the group chat pretty hot, or is he quiet?
Oh yeah. Oh, is he quiet? Yeah. As if he's ever been quiet in his life, but. No, it's a lot of fun, man. We love the chirping, and as of right now, I think Chris Bassett might be in last place. So he did that last year.
Yes, I know, on his birthday.
It's gonna be. I hope whether he better be with us, but if he's not, we may have to have him bat boy if we're playing against him or something. We'll see what happens.
Bassett told me and Whit off the record after recording of 6-inning stretch what would happen to the loser. So all I'm saying is I really hope he's back with the Jays for that reason and obviously everything else. So that would be amazing, wouldn't it be? Kind of be serendipitous.
It'd be a beautiful thing.
Be music to my ears. Yeah. So there's a big moment happening early in the new year that I need to know if you got a ticket to the hottest thing happening. Are you going to Bo's wedding?
No. Somehow I was lucky enough to get the invite. So I'm honored, truly, because him and his lady are just the best, and it'll be a fun celebration, and I'm looking forward to that. That's a cool invite.
I'm hoping you're going to bring the energy that you had when you guys would book the tickets. Oh yeah, it's going to be tarps off, champagne thrown everywhere.
You guys better hope there's some video cameras out because I'm going to be ripping up the dance floor pretty good.
I need to see this so badly. After the season ended, I think pretty much any team manager for any league was talking about the chemistry and how special the Toronto Blue Jays are. NBA coaches, football coaches, didn't matter. But there's been a lot of comparisons to the Toronto Raptors roster right now. I know you watched a little bit of the Raptors recently, but do you see any comparisons to the chemistry with that team to what we saw with the Blue Jays?
Yeah, I love what they have going on over there. That's a fun team to watch. And anytime you get a Toronto team who's having some success, it's pretty special, and we'll be following because I think they were watching our games too in the beginning of the year. Something about them not practicing because they were just watching our games. I absolutely love it. I love it.
Is there a Toronto Raptor player that you feel kind of emulates the Ernie Clement vibe?
I would say Shid, I think is how you say it. Not Sheed. It looks like Sheed, but it's Shid. Shid?
You could go with Shed.
Shed?
Shed.
Jamal Shed is a stud, and I love him. I think he does that. He's got that little role player mentality, but he should be starting and playing, 35 minutes a game because he does his job, and anytime he's out there, he's balling out. So that's my guy.
And he's so positive. Everybody loves him in the locker room. Yeah. So it's same. So many people say you guys are the same person.
Butchering that name is, that's tough. I apologize for that. But, people do the same with my name, too. I get Clements or Clemente all the time. So I know what that's like as well.
Well, we appreciate you, and we can't wait to see you back in Toronto. But I'll see you at spring training, so prepare for more ridiculous questions.
All righty. Can't wait. 3 years in a row, me, Davis, and Joey.
It's going to happen.
Can't wait. I'm in.
Oh, we can't hear Lindsay. No,
I
all
can't
right.
hear Cabbie. I couldn't hear
I was
Cabbie.
sorry. I was clapping.
There you
I
go.
was,
Hey, you know what
and
we're
then I was
clapping?
well.
Because Ernie is a shithead. I love that. Rather being a shedhead, he's a shithead. They're
I hope he
shedheads,
sees this.
first of all.
And I hope he has some
SHID.
spicy comments for you.
I'm not calling him an SHIT head because everyone's a shed head. He's a shithead. That's
Yeah.
what it's going to go with how he says Jamal's name. But what a wonderful
Yes.
person. You can see the full interview on YouTube later. We talk a little bit more about fantasy football, the Blue Jays, and everything in between, but still ahead on this episode, we're going to talk about Ernie's hockey skills. But Dan, my understanding is you weren't super sold on Ernie at the beginning.
I've got to be honest, he proved a doubter wrong, Ernie Clement did, with how he played this season. I was like, can the Jays really compete if they've got Ernie playing every day at third base coming into the year? And the answer was yes, they absolutely can do that. And he was incredible all season long, stepped up in big moments. And it's never been the glove that's the issue. It's just, can his bat hang as an everyday guy? And not only did it do that through the regular season, but then he was an absolute stud in the postseason. And what he brings to the team as far as positivity and just bringing the locker room together. Like, you listen to him talk there. I love the way he's always about the guys first, the boys first. He's just such a team guy, and about bringing that group together, which was such a big part of that Blue Jays element this year. Like, he just brought so much more value than what any spreadsheet can say. And he also backed it up with his play on the field and at the dish.
He was one of the most unexpected main contributors that I've seen in my lifetime. Like, I mean, the Blue Jays as a team was so unexpected to advance to beat the Yankees, to beat the Mariners, and then go to Game 7 against the Dodgers, and Clement's here.
Oh, so close. It still
30
hurts,
30 hits.
Hurts,
I know. We're December 1st, but the wound is going to be deep into our souls for a while because Toronto's a tortured fan base. But salute to the 2019 Raptors. But 30 hits in the playoffs, and I don't know if it was in this conversation, but I believe it's in the YouTube conversation. How he's like, he couldn't wait to get back to. He's from Rochester, and the Bills are his squad. Talk about unexpected. Josh Allen setting the record for quarterbacks scoring touchdowns. And that, like, what? Like, passing Cam Newton. Cam Newton, you expect. Michael Vick, you expect. Josh Allen, who is a freight train in the open field, did not expect him to set that record. He's the MVP, obviously. And I know I'm going on a tangent to talk about football, but just unexpected performances. And may I submit on show one a poll for YouTube and or Twitter. We're still going to call it Twitter.
Oh, please. Thank you. I hate that it's called X. Terrible.
Yeah, for wonderful.
Nobody calls it X.
Yeah. The most unexpected playoff performances in recent history, and I submit these 4 names. So Ernie Clement, 30 hits in the 2025 MLB playoffs. Trey Savage, out of nowhere, a star streaking through the sky, 3-1 record, ERA 3-something, 39 strikeouts. Brad Marchand at 30, what was he, 36 or 37 in the last year, 6 months ago. In the he was in the conversation for Conn Smythe. 20 points for the Florida Panthers.
Totally was right there with Sam Bennett. Right there.
Okay,
absolutely.
3 for 3.
And then Jimmy Butler carrying the 8 seed Miami Heat to the NBA Finals. They lost to Nikola Jokic. An 8 seed?
Jimmy Butler did not carry the Miami Heat to the finals. He has a nickname, Jimmy Buckets, in the playoffs for a reason. And don't think I didn't follow that series closely. One of my best friends is an analyst for NBA or Heat Radio. If you're going to go with unexpected performances, it's not going to be Jimmy Butler. You expect him to be good in the playoffs. It would have to be someone like Caleb Martin, who really helped carry them in the conference finals, that he was even getting in the conversation about MVP. No one expected that. Or Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, Jimmy Butler, you expect him to play well.
Okay, listen, I appreciate you saluting the role players because they are important. But the team was an 8 seed. They beat Boston. I think they beat the Bucks, Boston, and I can't remember who they faced in the conference. Maybe the Knicks. I can't remember who they faced in the conference finals, but then obviously they lost in the finals. But an 8 seed, you got to go through the best.
So in this context, the team was unexpected, not the player.
Not Jimmy
Jimmy Bucket.
Jimmy
Bucket.
Jimmy is the gasoline for that engine. Jimmy's the gasoline and the V8 engine and the
But
chassis.
you should expect that from your
fiber.
star player. You should expect that. Like with Scottie Barnes, you should expect him,
Listen.
like in the second quarter versus the Knicks, igniting them. If we're going with the unexpected, it would have to be Caleb Martin or even Max Strus on that, man. Hard disagree on your poll on Twitter and YouTube. Go let us know your thoughts on this.
Let
Fred
the
VanVleet would have
audience
been a better
decide,
pick.
okay? We'll let the audience decide because I feel like we can argue about this all day.
I think we could submit Fred VanVleet for the Raptors in 2019. That was maybe, unexpected, right? I mean, I'm going to go even further back. I just want to shout out like Ruslan Fedotenko from the 04 Tampa Bay Lightning, and maybe my paisan Fernando Pisani on the 2006 Edmonton Oilers when they made the unexpected run to the Stanley Cup Final.
I love this.
Okay, that's going. That's another deep cut, Dan. I appreciate like you are when we're looking at the record, you go to like the B side and you go to track 9, like you go deep into the discography to find like that one hidden gem. So I appreciate that about you.
Well, yeah, I cannot wait to hear people's thoughts on your poll. Thank you for submitting that, Cabbie, even though one was wrong out of the 4. But you know what? I hope you're right on. It's
no
time
wrong
now
answers.
for the Proline Plus look ahead. When watching your favorite sports, make things interesting with Proline. You must be 18 plus to bet in store and 19 plus to bet online with Proline Plus. You must be in the province of Ontario at the time of play. Please play responsibly. Dan, I'll start off with you.
Yeah, looking ahead to the Monday nighter tonight, and I'm going with Jackson Dart back in the lineup after a brief hiatus out of the Giants lineup and starting at quarterback, taking over for Jameis Winston. And I got him to score an anytime touchdown. I mean, Jackson Dart, he was asked about his concussions. Does he have to change the way that he plays? And he's like, no, I don't got to change anything. And he's just going to keep running the ball, and he's going to find his way into the end zone tonight for the Giants. So I'm going with Jackson Dart in his return.
I love that pick, man. Like bleep a concussion protocol. Let's just get into the end zone. And that dude has ignited. Talk about unexpected. Him and Scatterboo. Unfortunately, he had a season ending. But like that, those two guys were just like the talk of New York. And I hope that they're healthy for the rest of their careers and they stay in New York because that's a great story. Same game, Monday nighter. Salute to Stephon Diggs, who's a new dad with Cardi B. She has a record called Am I the Drama? Maybe. But we hope that, or I hope that Stephon Diggs is not the drama tonight in Gillette Stadium. I got him for an anytime touchdown. The Giants like to play man coverage, third most in the NFL. So let Stephon cook. He hasn't scored a touchdown in a couple of games, but he's in Gillette, and Drake May is playing at an MVP level. Anytime touchdown for Stephon Diggs. What do you mean you don't want to hear it? Oh, because they're playing the Giants? You're not.
No, just because like I just can't believe the Patriots have already found their way back into another franchise quarterback, man. Cleveland Browns for forever. The Cleveland Browns have been looking for a quarterback. How many teams have been looking for a quarterback forever? The Patriots are just like, you know what? We're just going to draft this guy 3rd overall, and he's going to be amazing. So, the
size of the shoes, Dan. Like the size of the shoes to fill. It's like this. It's the size of that entire stadium. Like Tom Brady's cleats are going to go fill, and the kid's been unbelievable. And so is Mike Vrabel and the whole coaching staff. I'm surprised. I have one friend in the group chat who is an obnoxious Patriots fan.
Yeah. Aren't all Patriots fans? I feel like all Patriots fans are obnoxious like that.
That's all Boston, bro. Like Boston, I think is like the most obnoxious. Toronto's up there, but Boston's pretty obnoxious for fan bases.
Guys, when it comes to fantasy football, I'm on the edge of glory of actually booking my ticket to the playoffs, and I smack talk like a mofo in that group chat. But I want anyone watching. Also, Blue Jays Today, guys, fantastic podcast and show on the Nation Network. They commented that, Cabbie, they agree with you in the orange jersey being fire, and now I question everything they say. But when it comes to our fantasy football names, I want to discuss them tomorrow. But I have to say, I know Cabbies, and it's such a lunch bag letdown, which would have been a better name than what you have. So I want people to leave a voicemail or leave a comment on what your fantasy football nickname is, and what you think Cabbies is. Because, it's a doozy, guys.
It's not that bad.
It's pretty good.
I mean, it's like a 6 out of 10, like a soft 6.
I believe they describe it as butterface if we're going by looks. But anyways, let's go.
My team is trash for sure. I'm a terrible GM for sure, but the name isn't bad. The name's not bad. But we'll let the audience decide.
Yeah, I'm so curious. It's not that bad, but it's unexpected. We could add that to the pool of unexpected names for fantasy football. Something that may be unexpected to a lot of people is that Ernie Clement has skills not only on the field, but he lights it up on the ice. When he was playing in Brighton in high school, he was actually the captain of his hockey team for one of the years, and then he was fantastic. And during the off season, he plays in a beer league where he told me he does not drop the mitts. He's a lover, not a fighter. I know a lot of people love to hear that, but I had him break down a couple of his highlights from his time with Brighton, and I want your guys' take on Ernie's skills on the ice.
Garbage goal, that's what I do, kind of just cherry picking in front, banging one home. Love it.
Like, is that why there was a lack of celebration here? I thought that was fun. You got a little spin move.
That was a chill one. The backhand just kind of dribbled it in. Yeah, this was senior year. This is a good celly. Slam it, break your hand in the glass. No, the boys, I look at us. It was like a nice little dangle here. That's better. That's a much better. That's well earned right there, right off the draw.
So, guys, what do you think? We do have highlights of that again, playing that of Ernie's skills and like the lack of celebration. He was just like so nonchalant. The first goal, I'm like, come on! I would have been ripping it up and down the ice, be like, "I'm taking this to the title."
First one, he's like, "Yeah, I probably should have got a better shot off there, but it found its way in. So I'm just gonna be nonchalant about this, Sally." And then that second one, I mean, when he pulls the dangle and, as he says, breaks his hand on the glass. I mean, Ernie is like, he's super humble. He's got his own elite prospects page. I don't know if people know this, but you type in Ernie Clement elite prospects and you will find Ernie Clement's prospect profile as a hockey player. So shout out to Ernie, man. Multi-talented. He's just a true athlete. He's kind of like, I mean, he's an everyman with the way he plays hockey, and also wearing the C on his jersey in that second goal. You know, he was a good captain too.
I got to give him credit for taking an elbow straight to the grill. And yes, there's no celebration there because it's 7-1. So he's not going to show up the other team. And then the second one, we also don't know what the score was in that game. So maybe they were down 7-1 and he's like, which required very little celebration. So I like that he can read the room and then react accordingly or celebrate accordingly. But man, taking a heavy elbow right to the face and not even react, like, yo, he's a G.
Ernie Ernesto Clement, one of one, amazing guy. Like we mentioned, you can watch the full interview on YouTube, and maybe we'll see him come up and lace it up for the Leafs. Probably not, but you never know. But something that kind of surrounds the Leafs that happened in the hockey world this weekend that I loved was Kyle Dubas. I don't even need to explain what he is or who he is or whatever he does, because there was a look-alike moment that finally happened with the mayor of Pittsburgh. And if you haven't seen it, take a look.
People say I look like the new mayor of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
People say I look like the general manager of the Penguins.
For clarity, he's the short one.
And clearly, he's the
I know that
I'm
feeling.
not the one you call about your potholes or your taxes.
And I'm not the one you call about the power play or who's in net tonight.
But we're both proud to represent the black and gold.
Oh my God.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Corey.
Dubas.
O'Connor.
And we approve this message.
10 out of 10, guys. I don't care. It's fun. If you're around the Kyle Dubas era in Toronto, like, it's for me, same, two white guys, same haircut with glasses. There we go. And just oozing with personality.
Yes.
This is great.
Couple generic looking white dudes. That's it. Yes.
I kind of like the puffer vest though that the mayor has. That's kind of dope. When I look at this video, this says to me, if the heirs of a funeral empire in the Midwest was a person, or were two people, these guys look like, I mean, I don't know what the name of the funeral home empire is, but these guys look like they're next in line to run that thing with 7,000 locations from Illinois all the way down to Florida, all the way over to New Mexico. If white collar crime were some people.
Oh, someone needs to
That's also
use
fair.
AI or
Yes, that's
Photoshop
fair.
something with that. I feel like he looks closest to the guy from Where's Waldo. If they had to do like a real life action movie, cast Dubas or Mr. Mayor. That is exactly what Where's Waldo looks like in my mind if it was an actual person.
Put him in a red striped shirt, and you put Kyle Dubas in a red striped shirt, and you'd have Where's Waldo. I think that's pretty accurate.
Oh, for sure. I mean, salute to them for having a great like personality about this too, and just like not taking themselves too seriously and appearing in this video. That's great. I'm sure every single day they get like, oh, you know who you look like, you know who you look like every single day. So they're like, we just got to put an end to it. We acknowledge it, and here's this fun video.
Yeah,
Now I know that the mayor of Pittsburgh is making all the short fellas proud, like myself.
Short Kings?
Short Kings.
I wasn't going to say it. I wasn't going to say it.
We will for you. I bet you he's never been called a short king, so we're going to put that out there for the mayor of Pittsburgh. Shout out to him. Salute to him. I love this video. I love that they agreed to do this. I love that Pittsburgh Penguins had this because, you know, a lot of, especially in the hockey world, fun things tend not to happen like this. So I love it. Where's Waldo for the win? So I don't know. Do you guys have any other suggestions who they look like, Dan? Or are we just going to leave it on Where's Waldo as the one of one?
I can't really top Where's Waldo right now, so I think that's probably the best way to go with it.
If credit default swaps were a person, I'm trying to think of the Big Short. If the collapse of Bear Stearns were a person. Anyway, that's all I got.
My guys, congratulations on the inaugural episode of Off the Roster. It's going to be a fun ride. Yes, there'll be some bumps along the way, but we're going to have fun, and we want to hear from you at home, wherever you're watching. Leave a comment, who you want to see, your thoughts on the Leafs, Jays, Raptors, Scepters, whatever it may be. And tomorrow, we're going to have two Olympians, rather, one in the NHL, one in the NBA. So you're going to want to stick around for that. Thank you for joining us for the inaugural episode of Off the Roster.